So the Balan Wonderworld demo came out, and you know what? I kind of like it. You know, a lot of people are going to have a lot of views on it, and there are some cons here, but for what this game is, so far, I think it's going to be pretty cool. So hey, without further ado, let's jump into this demo, and like I said, I've beaten the whole thing, so I want to tell you guys exactly what kind of game Balan Wonderworld is. First off, every single time I go to say it, I really want to say Balan Wonderland and not Balan Wonderworld. Maybe because it rhymes, I don't know, that's just my own shortcoming. But hey, I will say that for this video, I actually played it on the Xbox Series X and on the Switch. You know, both of them, they look identical. So, you know, I'm actually going to switch different game footage from both, and you'll never tell the difference. But, you know, that may be a bad thing for some people. I don't know. To me, graphics aren't everything, but to others, they may be. But I mean, I guess we should go ahead and start with that. The graphics don't really impress. I don't know if this is because this is like an early build or what, but you know, when you think Square Enix, you think of like AAA games, you think of a really high level of quality. And I'm not saying like this isn't like horrible looking, but it doesn't look like AAA Final Fantasy VII Remake, Square Enix, let's put all behind it kind of game. I would say it actually looks slightly worse than Trials of Mana, and Trials of Mana was like not the best looking game, but once again, that was a budget title, and this is a full retail price game, so a lot of people probably aren't gonna like that, and I will say that that is this game's biggest weak point. But, you know, if you notice, I'm bringing that up first because there are a lot of strong suits. Some of them are personal to me, but, you know, let's just go ahead and keep rolling with those. The first thing I really want to point out is the music. Oh my god, the music is so good. And a really cool thing I noticed on every single level I played is with the beat. If you look around, if you just stop for a second and look around, on certain notes of the beat during the songs, you'll see these ripples kind of chime in, like kind of right in front of you. I thought that was a really cool attention to detail, especially because the music is phenomenal. This is one of those things where if you really like Knights, you're really gonna like this game. The sound is amazing. I can't get enough of this music. In fact, I wanted to download some of the OST to kind of like put it as a background for the beginning and end of this video, and sadly none of that's out yet. I will say though that the collector's edition of this game does come with a soundtrack, so that is a huge selling point for me. But I mean, I think it's no surprise that this music is so good, just given, you know, the pedigree of the creators of this game. But you know, this old school feel, it really brings me back. Taking the borderline budget graphics out of it, you have to admit, like, the aesthetic is freaking cool. I mean, this whole world is like wild, right? Like, as you walk forward, it's like the whole world bends to you. It's kind of weird. It reminds me of like a monkey ball map, or like maybe one of those you know, like one of those games like Mario Galaxy or something. But when you walk, rather than the earth itself being curved, as you walk, everything straightens itself back out. And that is like such a cool artistic design. I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm the only one thinking that, but it's cool. It also kind of makes you think a little bit more with the puzzles. And this game is all about puzzles, and we'll get to that in a second, but I just thought it was really neat how everything warps to you, especially in other levels where you can see, like, it's like instead of doing concave, they did convex. So like so stuff is hidden until you walk closer. But then there's concave levels where things are open for you to see, so you can kind of plan out where you're going. Now, a lot of people are calling this game like the spiritual successor to Knights, and I think that's like kind of the overarching maybe plot is that, but gameplay-wise, not even close. Wow, so this game is entirely different. This game is basically more like maybe like a Hat in Time or something like that, like a modern collectathon, but it's different because the power-ups you get aren't permanent. Now, you can carry 3 at a time, and each level, at least in the demo, each level has a certain kind of set of power-ups. Like, for instance, in the first level, you have this kind of wolf that gives you an attack where you have like a screw uppercut. And you also get like this kind of kangaroo thing where you kind of get like the jump and then the little hover flutter kick that Yoshi does in a way. But one thing that was not made clear at first is you actually stockpile these. So in later levels, you'll get more suits, and you can only have 3 at a time. So whatever one is your last one will get knocked off as you collect more. Now, the thing is, you know, it gets knocked off, you're like, oh dang, I lost that suit. If I wanted that one, I need to go back to that level. But you actually stockpile them. And in between levels, you can go through and pick your loadout. I know, notably, you can do this for bosses. But it's just kind of cool because, you know, on the one hand, they also act as your health. So when you get hit or fall off a cliff or die, you lose whatever ability or suit you are currently wearing. So that does stink because let's say that you really need the wolf for something later on and you've run out of wolf suits, you're going to have to go back to level 1, Act 1. And you know, who knows, this is an early demo, so maybe that's something they'll change. But it's an interesting concept. And also, like I say, if you stockpile a whole bunch of stuff, then really you're going to be good overall. So the goal of each level is to basically get to the end of the level, and that involves doing puzzles, and the puzzles will revolve around the aforementioned suits. So the first level, for instance, there's blocks that block your way, and the only way to break those blocks is with the wolf power-up. And then later on, there's a big gap you have to clear. The only way to clear that gap is with the kind of kangaroo flutter jump power-up. And that's basically the tone for the whole game, it seems. However, there are other things to do in these levels. Now, there are these little statues you collect, basically, think like your jiggies, like the puzzle pieces. And you need a certain amount of them to unlock new levels. So it's not just get to the end of the level as fast and as easy as you can. You also have to go out of your way to get these statues. Now, on level 1-1, I was racking my brain, because I got almost every statue first try, but I'm like, why the heck can't I get some of these? And I noticed that there was one thing, like a weird gear, that I didn't know what it was doing. And then later on, there's like another spot that had a jump that was way too far, and I had no way to get over there. Come to find out, that is where the other levels come into play. So you need to unlock as many statues as possible to unlock more levels. And then by doing that, you go to those levels and you unlock more suits. And like I said, you can bring suits back and forth through the different levels, through the different worlds. So there's a lot of basically backtracking and replayability here. You're going to go back, you know, like for instance, you're going to go get this gear suit later on, come back to level 1, crank the gear that lets you get up on top of the top here, and you get, you know, a new power-up. So that is really kind of the name of the game here. It's your classic collectathon formula. You get as much as you can while you can, and then you go out and you branch off, continue the story, continue the plot, and, you know, on your way, you get more powers, you backtrack, you get more statues. I will say there's one more cool kind of statue you can earn per stage, which also gets you bonuses. And it's like this weird, like, quick time event where you play as the kind of jester guy, and you basically time these quick time events, and if you do really well, then all of the other collectibles you've gotten will be multiplied. Speaking of the other collectibles, I don't know much about them yet, but I will say I know what they do. And that is these diamonds. You get these diamonds everywhere, and there's different colors. So far in the demo anyway, I've picked up yellow, pink, and red. And also, there's another little tiny collectible, which are these eggs. So you go through and you get these eggs, and when you're in the hub world, you have these weird little, like, chick bird things. Anywho, you feed them the diamonds or the crystals that you collect in the level. And, you know, so I've done that for this whole demo. And, you know, they started out as just little tiny little chicks. But now I got some bigger ones. Some have rabbit ears, some don't. Some are different colors. They kind of change on their colors based on which colored gems I gave them. But it reminds me of the A-Life system, which was the basis of the Chow system from Sonic Adventure, and A-Life was from Knights. I think there's going to be more involved with this. They don't really explain too much in the demo, but I'm really excited to see this because I have been a big proponent of having a Chow Garden in a Sonic game in a long time, and I feel like Square Enix is like, you know what, they're not going to make a Chow Garden, so we're going to make a Chow Garden type thing. Like I said, I think there's going to be a lot more to that, but it's a really cool thing that I enjoy doing in this game. So as you go throughout the levels, you end up fighting little monsters, and they kind of come via this like weird, like 80s, 90s like hair metal guy who kind of summons out. And anyway, he summons these guys who look a lot like Heartless in my opinion, but hey, that's that Square Enix taste getting thrown into the pot. But you know, if you actually look at this bad guy, he does look like a negative version of the guy who sucked you into this world, which reminds me a lot about of Knights, really, because Knights has that kind of like anti-Knights character. But so you do fight monsters here and there, not as much as you'd think though. This game is really more on the puzzles. However, sticking with that heartless theme, it seems like the whole theme of this game is to get your heart, to bring hearts back. So the only level you get to fully explore the whole way through is the first level. And without actually saying anything, you kind of get the gist of what's going on. You have this farmer, and he has this like really kind of happy farm thing, and the first level is you meeting the farmer and going through kind of the area to the next level, which is his farm itself, all the crops and the monsters, and a huge thing happens that destroys everything. And basically it kind of breaks his heart, so to speak, and turns him into the boss. And then, you beat him, which is actually a pretty neat boss fight, multi-phase. It's a puzzle-style boss fight, so you need to use specific power-ups to do damage at specific points, which is, once again, really playing into this game's whole motif and strong suits, in my opinion. But then afterwards, you basically give the farmer his heart back. So I get the feeling that in this game, every level you're going to be going through, kind of solving someone's problem, and kind of bringing them back. And then I think overall the whole point is to make yourself whole by making other people whole. Once again, this is not like a very heavy plot sounding game. It reminds me more of like Kingdom Hearts 1, like before stuff got crazy. Like Kingdom Hearts 1 was a kid's game. I mean, like really, it was, And that's what this is. It's more like a kid's game, but it harkens back to that, where there's like a plot that's real kind of, universal, and it's something that you want to do, you want to strive to do, you want to help these people, and because of that, it's real low-key, chill. It's just a very chill kind of game, and everything plays into that, the nonchalantness of the power-ups and the music, and it really kind of ties it all together with a nice little bow. But yeah, this demo is available for all the major systems. You can download it right now. It's completely free. You get 2 levels and a boss for Act 1, and you get 2 different acts, one of level 4 and one of level 6. If you do collect enough statues, you actually unlock level 3, but when you go play it, it actually says, hey, go back to the main menu, or depending on what console you're on, go to the store and pre-order it. But hey, I mean, what do you guys think? This is a pretty cool game. I'm enjoying it. I'm gonna probably get the collector's edition myself, maybe on Switch, probably on Switch. But it's pretty neat, and I'm glad I got to dip my toes into it. So like I said, this game may not be for everyone. For me, being very nostalgic for that kind of music, and just loving the Knights games and loving collectathon style games, it's kind of up my alley. So I'm still on the on board for pre-ordering it. Hopefully I can snag the collector's edition. I plan on getting it on Switch. But hey, if you guys got to play it, let me know what you think. Everyone's gonna have some different views on this one, especially because it does feel a little rough. But I mean, it's made by Square Enix, so you expect a level of quality, but, it's not really a AAA game. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think down below. I'm actually really interested to see what you guys are wanting to say about this. Hey, that's going to do it for us today, guys. Once again, thank you so much for watching, sticking around. Leave a thumbs up, thumbs down if you feel any kind of way. Please comment, like I said, if you feel like you want to add to the conversation. Subscribe if you haven't. That'd be super cool. And as always, take it easy.